is a requirement in our SYL, Senior Youth Leadership Curriculum. If you read that area, you and the church, I think, I need to display it here. If you read that area, there is a part that says complete safety planning and insurance done at union level. That requirement reads like that. So we are privileged this afternoon, dear SYL candidates, that we are hosting Elder Kibura Eliezer, the Associate Treasurer of Uganda Union. He is the very right person and a senior person to handle this topic. And we are blessed that he is also a lover of youth ministry. He is also a master guide. Whatever youth, wherever we are, he's always there with us. Thank you so much, Elder Kibura, for loving youth ministry and for loving senior youth in a special way. And we pray that God leads you as you serve the Lord today. Do not worry of the time. Our program officially ends at 5. So as the Lord will lead you, we will have enough time with you so that at 5, I believe everybody of us here will be well versed with this important subject. We are happy to have senior youth leaders who are even pastors. We also have elders. We have different people who attend this Zoom with us, dear Elder Kibura. We have a number of them that attend in groups. You will see 54 participants, but there are very many. We will see them probably at the end of this because the time has gone, but almost every gadget there has more than 3 people. We have those who attend in a church setting, over 30, over 20 seated in a group using one gadget, but attending this seminar called Senior Youth Leadership Curriculum. We hope to graduate by May next year so that we have another team of leaders to deal with the senior youth. This important area is very key. Whoever has attended and will do assignment will qualify for a certificate. We are going to give a special certificate in this area because we've been lacking it a lot. So, Elder Kibura, you're welcome. This is your time.
Thanks, Madam Waiswa, for the opportunity you have granted me to speak to the senior youth. It is a privilege. I call it a privilege, and I welcome everybody attending, and we pray that the Holy Spirit will guide us through. Thank you for the Master of Ceremony, the choir, and everybody. You allow me to go straight to the presentation, which I was assigned by Madam Waiswa. She had contacted me and requested me to present safety planning and insurance. These are 3 items that we need to understand as we begin. Safety, there is planning, and insurance. It means that if we planned well for our safety, do we do away with insurance? Insurance comes in, even though we have planned, but catastrophe comes in, then insurance must be nearer to come and cater for the catastrophe which has come in. Doesn't mean that when you plan, nothing will come. We are in the world distorted by sin, and the devil is working. So that is why in everything we are doing, we need to plan and come in with safety measures. I'll begin by saying a prudent person foresees danger and takes precaution. The simple goes blindly and suffers the consequences. That is from Proverbs 27:11. And then in Genesis chapter 1, chapter 2, says God asked Adam to watch over it. As the youth leaders, we need to watch over the people, the youth who are under our care. So we must recognize that God as the owner, and we as stewardship are to care for and protect by taking all precautions whenever we identify what? Risk. So what is safety planning? Before we begin looking at safety planning and insurance, we need to see what safety is defined. Madam Weiss, how do I remove this? I think I should minimize this like that. Okay, that's good. The condition of being protected from or unlikely to cause danger, risk, or injury. I was trying to compare it with the dictionary definition, and it said it is a state of being safe. Safety is a state of being safe. You are free from any occurrence of or risk or injury, danger, or whatever loss. So when we talk about safety, we are talking about being safe from an occurrence which could come in our way as we execute our youth duties. Therefore, safety planning is a set of preparatory approaches and policies to meet safety and health challenges and needs. Generating a safety plan includes speaking out actions to enhance the safety and health of our youth, especially to those involved in hazardous and risky places and are expected to fall victims to danger. If you don't plan, then you are planning to fail. So we need to put in health plans to see to it our youth are safer. As the youth ministry grows, so does the liability exposure resulting from personal injuries. By safeguarding our congregations and their property, you take an important first step in protecting their well-being. As we said already, we are stewards as leaders, and shielding your congregation from financial and emotional costs that result when injury, damages, and lawsuits occur. What do you? Oh, we are saying the death or injury of a member of your club or guest, particularly when the loss involves a child or loss of property, it is a tragedy for the entire congregation. So it carries the potential for serious legal and financial consequences. So that is why we are saying we need to plan, then after planning, also take up insurance coverages. I'm picking some few issues to show you why we need safety planning and insurance. At least 3, one from Uganda and others from outside. There was this case that a youth on their way to an amusement park, 5 youth and the driver were killed instantly when their van crashed into a rear of a slow-moving semi-trailer. The problem was that the driver had only 2 hours. They didn't plan well. If the driver had slept, maybe had enough sleep, they would not have. And there was huge amounts that were claimed from as a cover-up. Then I picked this school, which is within Uganda here. They were not insured, and they took the students for a tour. Am I clear? Hello?
Yes,
am I okay, audible?
Yes,
yes, you are clear.
Okay. I was saying Amucha, one of our schools in the northern Uganda field experienced a big tragedy when students drowned while on a school tour. These students were not insured, and the school had to pass through a huge compensation for and burial arrangements to meet all this. If they were insured, then insurance would have come and covered them up. Some of you maybe had sometime early, either in 2010 or something earlier than that, in Tanzania. Women were traveling for a seminar, and the train they were in got an accident, and several lost their lives, others had injuries. We praise God that they were insured. Insurance came in and took over the cost. If it wasn't, the conference and the union would have cost heavily. So every club will have various activities throughout the year, as you know, like a camping, trips, community service, events, and regular meetings. So if in a case for planning, better planning, In case you have overnights, you have trips, you need seek first of all for proper planning. Must seek permission from the guardians and the parents, so that whatever, and this, they should get a release letter, and the parents should sign that they have accepted, so that if anything, God forbid, comes the way, at least you be already, they will be in the know. So what are we saying? We are saying be prepared. The best defense indeed is a strong offense. So when you put here defense, some defense mechanisms, some people will be offended. But that's where you have to go. You can greatly reduce the potential for death, injury, damage by planning for safety and preparing to handle inevitable emergencies if they come in a manner that will minimize injury, damage, chaos. And I'm saying there are 4 general rules that will apply for you to be having a good plan. So what are we saying? We are saying always have enough competent, trained leaders for the number of children to be supervised on any activity of the youth. As a rule, the number of leaders needed will increase proportionally to the specific activities, risk levels, and when caring for the younger children. We are saying have some competent and some leaders involvement, so that they will have a watch over. At least one adult member of your group should be trained. That is why I think we have lessons in first aid. It must be a leader who is already having first aid training, so that they can come in quickly. Make certain that participants and their parents, we have talked about this, or guardians, fully understand the nature of all the activities scheduled. When supervising youth activities, always provide thorough instructions on safety rules corresponding to the activities. I will be looking at something like swimming, camping, and then some areas. So in our youth programs, let's have a committee called safety committee. So I'm asking that your committee, if not, consider dedicating protection of your facilities members, looking at those dangerous areas, so that your whatever is well taken care of. Take advantage of the expertise. We have so many people in our churches, medical professionals, you have health educators, lawyers. Please include these people on our committees, so that they can advise us. Take proper steps to correct both existing and potential problems, and monitor property policy and ongoing ongoing basis. They should look at the following areas from risk and safety perspective. What are these areas? You should inspect the property you are using, the vehicles. I told you those people, the vehicle they use, the driver didn't have enough sleep. If you have the committee, that would have establishment of safety guidelines and checklists for activities. At least, have we done this? Have we done this before we go for this activity? Establishment of safety first aid training programs for staff members, volunteer, activity supervisors, and participants. The one person who is leading this group, how far did he take the first aid training? And if an eventuality comes in, is he or she capable coming in? Preparation and maintenance of comprehensive first aid kits for use at and away from your facilities. No, we are prayed. Don't worry about those things, my friend. With calamity strike, we are in the world which is the development of emergency response portions of authorities. Have we notified? We need these parents, key officials within our congregation. Everybody should be aware, and wherever we are moving, that there is this activity which is going to take place. Provision of activity permission, details to slips, medical history of all our children. We are supervising intervention, release forms, parent contact sheets, and accident reports. Guidelines for use of the documents also should be provided. Why we are saying so, development of hiring codes and procedures for screening prospective staff and volunteers. What guide does anybody say, me, I'm interested in the youth, allow me to do this, please. We should screen them. Are they capable? Are they leaders? Do they have this training? Would they be responsible for anything that will come? Ensure that all youth and other participants have a comprehensive insurance coverage. This one we shall be talking about insurance as a whole. Now let me hit some few areas. If we are going to travel, what do we need to do as the safety planning? Each youth trip will carry its own potential risk. We went to Mitandi, we went to Nchwanga, there was no problem. Each one has, and it is essential to both follow preventive tactics and have protection in place. Don't take things for granted. You may not control the outcome of each trip, but we can do our part as leaders. That is very important to avoid preventable incidents from occurring. Seek better and good transport to use, which should be from a reputable organization. Also, no, this one is cheaper. How are they? Do you know their history? How do they handle customers? Are they a risk company? You need to establish whether this is a reputable organization, so that in case of anything, it will be so, no, it was an accident. Insurance should be secured. I'm talking about this insurance as we go in insurance. If you're having children, you have place space for children. Do you minimize the risk of child sexual abuse and violence against these children? This is an area also we need to be very conscious. How do we secure our children? How do we get confidence, secure confidence from the parents? Do we have all these things very outlined in our programs? Or they will say, no, you see, this leader has a problem because we didn't screen them. I'm just picking some areas, risk areas, as which you get involved always as youth. I'm talking about swimming. Useful swimmers always should be directly supervised by an adult. Don't leave children. You see, you are hearing a lot of children dying because there was nobody who was taking care. Test swimmers' ability levels and restrict them to areas designated for non-swimming, intermediate, and advanced swimmers. Only experienced swimmers should venture beyond 3.5 foot level. Then you are saying, when supervising a large group, use a check-in, check-out board to monitor. What is this? Take a roll call. They'll say, hey, I thought everybody was on. Divide the groups into friends. A pair of friends should remain together for the duration. Never swim or dive into unknown waters. Check the waters. How deep is it? What is here? You don't know what is down. We lost a student, but when swimming and he dived and didn't know, and he had to knock his head on the rock, and that was the end. We should not just venture in unknown areas. Have a life-saving equipment, ring, rope, pole on hand, a boat if you are swimming on a lake or as a natural bodies, water bodies. And then, business going to swimming after eating, you are still heavy. Take some time, let it cool down, and then you can go in. Ensure exit the water when you know there is a lightning threatens to come in. Don't use electrical appliances. You know now this is the electrical world. Somebody has a deceiver but is going into here near water and like anything can happen. Make sure those are whatever. Forbid running and horseplay around the pool or diving board. Camping where we are always involved. Friends, require your staff at campus to have tetanus. Whatever, because you don't know where you are going, anything can happen, can pierce you. Inspect the camp grounds for man-made and natural hazards. I liked when we were going to do Inspect the ground. What is they safe and the sanitation is okay? Are you sure? Smoke detectors if you are in the building, fire extinguishers and everything is working well. Check out the accessibility of emergency medical assistance. If we need medicine, you can have, you want what? Assistance for medical emergencies, but you don't have what? Access. You must check all of those things. Review the camp procedures for staff screening. I've already talked about this. Staff screening is a serious issue. Be aware of any special or unusual medical needs, including allergies of your campus and staff. So that's when you take the records of these children, please know their status. Know their status. What beds are you going to use? These hanging beds, please. What protective what areas have you put in to save if somebody fell on those smaller beds we sleep in on when we are in the camps? Ensure evacuation procedures are in place. So what about facility hazards? Remove sharp objects such as pegboards or furniture with protruders or sharp toys. If it is stairs and halls should be well lit and free from obstruction. Cover stairs with non-skid safety surface and provide handrails on both sides because you don't know what is happening. If it is whatever you say, this is what you put a notice, slippery, take care. Doors with locks should be opened from both. If somebody locks himself inside or herself inside, what will happen? Will you call somebody to come and clear the door? Make a large glass or window with tape or safety doors. This is glass, take care. Window screens won't stop falls. So either use stops to prevent windows from being opened more than 5 inches. Do all this and then cover all electrical outlets in use. Then we are saying, you see, when we go for camping, there is poisonous and medication must be all well marked and stored far from children. Keep sharp objects and small objects that could be swallowed out of the reach of children. These are day-to-day active things, but we need. And many cases of accidental poisoning occur when children eat plants common to those in the house. This is what we have always in our yard or in the garden. Identify and remove all hazardous plants from play areas, especially those which are similar to those things we plant in our gardens around the homes. And then I'm saying clear playgrounds of broken glasses, sharp rocks, and other hazardous objects. Make sure playgrounds equipment is well anchored and in good working condition. Select toys suitable for specific age groups. Regularly inspect these ones, whether they are still okay or they are broken, and you remove them. So in case you have done everything and calamity strikes, even if we had in place all the precautions, what is our remedy? That is why we need to take up an insurance. We have taken this up, but things have happened, they have happened. And in our policy assets, in all church properties, against age and insurance policies you must, many of you know that you go and write
We are losing Elder. I don't know whether it's a network issue.
Yes,
I
at
can't
least
hear
he's
him now.
back.
He's
Yeah,
back?
he's back. I think network. Don't worry.
Okay.
Network.
Elder, we can hear you now.
Maybe Elder, you need to unmute yourself. You unmute yourself so I can hear you.
I was asking, hello?
We are
Can you
getting
get
you,
me
Elder,
now?
very
Yes, we can
clearly.
get you.
I was asking, where did you lose me from?
From insurance. When calamity
From
starts, in case
insurance.
of calamity.
When-
Yeah, in case of calamity.
In case of calamity,
Yes.
that is where you lost me.
Yes.
So I was going alone. So
No worry, Elder.
sorry, very
And this
sorry.
will be
When
followed
calamity
with the-
strikes,
Yes.
Yeah.
when calamity strikes,
Yes.
even if we had in place all precautions, what is our remedy? And I was saying, that is why we need what? An insurance cover.
Yeah.
That is why we need an insurance cover. And I said, as a church, in order to maximize protection for all church operations against risk of accident, property damage, destruction, liability, the church recommends that we take up an insurance what? Policy. And I said, what is an insurance? I was saying insurance is a protection against what? Against risk, loss, or by a contract in which an insurer or underwriter guarantees to pay back money in return for the premiums you've been contributing. And he said, as Seventh Adventist Church, we have an insurance company called Adventist Risk Management. Adventist Risk Management takes care of our issues. And we said, what is the risk management? Is the process of measuring or assessing danger and then developing strategy to manage the risk from physical or legal causes, natural disasters, fire, accident, death, and lawsuit. Somebody can come and sue the UC club. If it is not insured, what will happen? That is the question we are asking. As is insurance, we leaders, we are the stewards. We are stewards. We are saying Ezra, when he was traveling to Jerusalem with people and possessions, he identified the risk and he took precautions. They fasted, humbled themselves, prayed that God would give them a safe journey and protect them and their goods. Ezra 8:21. When Nehemiah traveled to Jerusalem, the king had sent a long army of officers and horsemen to protect him. Nehemiah 2:9. And we are saying Adventist risk management or insurance company used by the church is more than an insurance company. It helps the church to identify risk, control risk, and finance risk if it occurs. Working policy of the General Conference, as I already said, states that all property, Pathfinder clubs, church employees, church members, traveling, etc. have to be insured. Don't allow a group to go for camping, a group to do an activity, outdoor and the like, without being insured. That's why we're saying from the onset of our clubs. Let's ensure that our clubs are what? Insured. And the insurance premiums are charged or contributed by each participating club or group at whatever level. And under insurance, we have property insurance in the church. The church, this one, yes.
Can you share your screen again?
Hey.
Hey.
You people. I'm running and the...
Okay, don't worry. You just share from where you are.
When I came back, I did not see.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Yes.
Where am I? Is it okay?
Yeah, you check out the presentation now, the PowerPoint. Yes, it's okay now. You can just do a slideshow.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's okay. You're only remaining to do a slideshow. Power slideshow there. Yeah, it is fine.
I talked about the Hamaya traveling. And then I was saying our advanced management system is more than insurance what? Company. And helps church identify. Is it okay now?
It's
Hello?
very fine. It's very fine.
When I go off, you always alert me quickly.
Yes.
And I said, the GC, General Conference policy, dictates is a command which must be followed by all people who subscribe under the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, that all property, Pathfinder clubs, employees, church members, traveling and the like, how to be, must be what? Insured. That's why we say all clubs on the onset, they must be insured. And this insurance charges must be borne by the participating club. And I was talking about the types of insurance. We have property. This deals with our buildings, furniture, and equipment in the church. And if calamities like vandalism, safety, fire, burglarism, flooding, lightning comes in, there should be a sum which should be paid to compensate, to put us back on the same footing before the calamity struck. Be sure. So when you insuring, you don't underestimate, because now when I overestimate, maybe they will be charging me. You are the one who is killing yourself. Because when the calamity falls, you'll be covered under the very whatever. Then we have Pathfinder clubs, accident coverage. Provides death, dismemberment benefit, and accident medical expense benefit to the maximum allowed. What we are saying, if anything happens and somebody dies, what will you do? We need burial, we need compensation. Who is going to be to pay all those? The insurance comes in. If I get an accident and I'm injured, there should be benefit which comes to cover up the dismemberment, treatment, and the like under Pathfinders. Then we have the international campus insurance. This provides travel, accident, and sickness protection to employees, volunteers, and eligible individuals approved and assigned by the church to go on a church errands, either outside Africa, outside Uganda, internationally. Should I go, I'm sent to US and I fall sick, who is going to treat me? I should have an insurance cover so that when I reach there, I just inform my insurance company that so and so is here in this place and is sick, and insurance will take up. Has died. How do you transport the corpse from that place to this place back home? Insurance should be in position. So those things are broken now in 6 areas. These six areas are, you see, we have the denominational property that one I've already talked, survivors benefit insurance. This one is paid to the surviving relatives of of that person. So somebody was a youth leader, had a family and has died. How do you prepare this family to transform to move from the state when they had their family head to a state when they have not? So you need to give something like survivor's benefit insurance. And the AD is called the accident, death and dismemberment, then property, effect and that, and baggage. When I lose my property, I'm on a safari official and you are in a camp and we lose our property. How shall we get? Should be uninsured. I'm a worker, I lose household, I lose my property. Thieves come in and break into my house. Where am I going to begin from? There should be an insurance. There's a fire which breaks into my personal home. I'm a church employee. There should be something that will compensate those bills, whatever. The campers I've already talked about. We are going for camping and we have an accident, we have an injury. What will it come in? We must have a campers insurance. So before you begin all these camper, whatever camp groups, please ensure that you have a campers insurance. And for youth groups which are moving, there is a group which moves around from Kampala Central. They move, we go to Zambia. Those people must have a short-term travel insurance, which must be present so that anything which comes calamity, Uganda just inform the General Conference, our group in South Africa, they have this problem. Can you please come in and you take it up quickly? These are properties, whatever protection. I've talked about those, the buildings. Then survivor benefit. Survivor, let me still emphasize benefit. It is for the surviving family members of that person. They use the leader, a church worker, a pastor who has got that accident, who will be benefited. It doesn't benefit the person insured because for them to move from one state to another, I've talked about that. So it is a survivor's benefit. It covers not selective. It should ensures 100% what? Participation. If all the youth are there, all must be covered. If the employees of the church, they must be covered from a watchman, a sweeper, to what? An accident doesn't know, to a cook, to whoever. You don't do it segregatively. Yes, accident, death, and dismemberment. I said, do we have limits? We have from 5,000 the maximum. Nothing can compensate life. But when somebody has an accident, yes, there are limits from $5,000 to the maximum of 10. And you see the minimum you contribute as a premium, it is very small. It shouldn't. It's given to employees active service who are involved. This is accident. If I get an accident, I'm traveling, they will compensate me for the loss of my limb, for the treatment and the like. Then personal effect and baggage, I've already talked. I'm traveling on the plane, on the vehicle, and the thief comes and takes over my property. What will they do? Insurance comes and say, what were these? Can you provide us with an invoice that will assist you regain those properties? I send in my invoice and they'll send me money and I will cover myself. Then campus insurance, it is also this one. Campus, what is the difference? Please mark, there's a difference between international and campus. Campus is within ECD territory. Within ECD territory, that is, we take up the campus insurance. And international, it is outside. You are moving internationally from outside your territory, and that territory we are talking about is the ECD. So we can cover the clubs, youth clubs, and the activities, and they can be sure
Elder, can't get you clearly. The voice. The sound is not being received. Hello?
I think network is disturbing him. He will be back soon.
Okay. Thank you, Dennis, for coming in, and Mommy Esther. As we wait for Elder to come in, I'd like to welcome Brother Hopeful. Hopeful, I'm told there is rain in Ginger, and Brother Lufapa Moses' network is disturbing him so much. I don't know that Ruth is getting us very well.
My network is very good. I can get you so well.
Great. As we wait for Elder, I wanted to hear from Hopefuls. I think Elder is back. Hello, Elder. Elder may be still connecting. I don't know whether the Hopefuls are available. They had something to share with us on the way how they do it in attending as a couple of this senior youth leadership of Elder. Miriam.
Brother John, hand.
Yes.
Brother John has put up the hand. We don't know. Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
Oh. Can we hear from him? Dennis.
Brother John, you put up your hand. The moderator has allowed you to ask the question, to make the comment. I don't know. I think it's a comment. Brother John?
Yeah, comment from Brother John.
Yes, this is Emily.
Yes, Emily.
Yes, I just had something to add on what our elder told us. And it is about communication with parents. And when we are going for camporaries or training camps for these young people, if you want to surely see how you can care for, we need to compare and know how to access parents in case of any emergency. And in this, we are encouraging parents to provide appropriate information about the safety, the sex, or gender to their children, meaning that it don't help the directors to know in the case of any challenge, they can communicate with parents. So I just wanted to add on what he said. I've been following well, but I thought that it is very important to share it with you, that communication with parents in risk management is very vital.
Thank you, Sister Emily, for sharing with us that communication with the parents as we mobilize to go out. I can see our elder is. Elder, you're welcome. Elder, we can get you, we can hear you, even the screen is shared by Campus Insurance. The network. Oh, we are getting you clearly now.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So
Those
let me finish up. I was
voices.
saying campus insurance.
Yes.
The voice is breaking.
Yes, somehow.
Breaking, but you can
Okay.
continue. We shall. Elder, we are not getting you. We are just seeing a screen, but the words
I'm
are
saying,
not coming out.
you are getting me now.
Very well. So you have an echo.
Hello? Are you getting me now? Switch
We
on
are
another
hearing.
gadget.
Yeah, but you need to switch off the other because we are getting echo from the gadgets, I think. Elder is setting up, I think.
Hello?
But
Can we continue?
let's continue, Elder. We can move on. Yes.
I was looking for where I was.
You were on why insurance, I think. The previous two slides. Why campus insurance?
The campus. Yes, I think I
the voice is breaking.
And we said in our conference, all field. Yes, what we are saying. We need to submit the names. Hello? 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 Can I continue? Can I continue?
Yes, Elder, you can continue.
I was saying names have to be submitted to conference or field 2 weeks in Excel before the program or activity starts. We want all the names of people who are involved in this to be submitted quickly. Short-term travel is eligible to anyone on for people international access to the service covers for the must. I've talked about household insurance. I'm not going to repeat. So where do we fall as pathfinders or youth clubs? We are included under campus insurance since our activities are done within the division. We are also included in the short-term travel because sometimes our youth are involved in activities outside our division. So now the question is, and loss has conference, be guided by the conference in line with the treasurer. So sometimes always the question which comes is, what are the costs? You see, insurance is expensive. Insurance is expensive. Yes, it is expensive, but when it occurs, that's when you know that insurance is very cheap. When you talk about the dollar, 1 shilling for a for what? Campus what? Insurance. So I was saying the dollar or the $3 could look like very expensive, but it is taking up than losing and then putting the church into. Wow. Thanks for listening, and can I entertain questions? Maybe I will need it to connect to, yes. Can I entertain questions now? I've ended on what? The insurance coverage, the amount paid. If you are going for the campus international, we say you fill the forms, take the forms to the conference submits those forms to the union, and the union submits them to the division forwards them to our insurance company. And we said it must be done at least 2 weeks before the activity occurs, because we need you to begin their traveling when the insurance cover is already taken up and it is registered with our insurers. So ensure that 2 weeks minimum, register, fill those forms from your conference leaders, field leaders. They will forward them to the union, and the union shall also what? We shall move them. Thanks for listening. God bless you. And if there are questions, additions, feel free to come in. There's no power. We traveled somewhere, there's no power. So I think that's why my internet is on and off. Thanks a lot for listening. Can I hand over to either Madam Waiswa or the moderator? I'll entertain questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Elder Kibura, for elaborating us more about safety planning and insurance. Thank you so much, Elder. This is a very key area that you have handled. Every time we are asked about insurance, about what it does, well, but today we've seen the importance of insurance and also the safety measures. I was so much touched with the safety measure of informing the parents where the youth are going, and also having the parents to sign and acknowledge or to allow their children to travel. That is very, very important. That is why we always have individual forms. Parents should sign, or the guardian to that pathfinder or to that ambassador going for any this journey. It is very, very important. Elders talked about various issues, and I believe there could be some people here with questions, but I want to appreciate you, Elder, for that great presentation. And it has been a blessing that many of us, especially the youth leaders here, at least blessed to be elaborated more. I know people have questions, and I'll ask Elisha, the MC, the questions. We'll ask Elder to note the questions.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Mama Waiswa, for that, and Elder for the wonderful presentation. I think the questions about the insurance, most of them have been handled, though I personally have some questions that I'm going to ask. I didn't know that church members could be insured. I don't know whether it has started of recent, but would like to, if it is, we need to invite all members to get insured, because it is very important. A member will travel and get an accident there, no one will care about what happened to him. But I believe as senior youth leaders, we can start the mobilization to see that all church members, not only the youth, are insured by the church insurance company as we move on in this life. I'm seeing Brother Jimmy Muhindo raising up a hand. I'll ask you, unmute yourself. If you have a question, you pass it over.
Mr. Elisha, the coordinator, before you come in. Hello?
Yes, yes, Elder.
Hello?
Yes, Elder.
I was saying.
Elder, yes.
Are you getting me?
I
was saying, don't say only the youth. We have our choirs, and they travel a lot. From one church to another, from one country to another. You hear they have gone to Nairobi, they have gone where? These people need to be insured. And our churches need to be also insured. Should somebody get an accident in the church, I'm sitting on a bench and I fall down and I break my back, the church is liable. And if it is not insured, it will take up those responsibilities. So we are saying there are risk areas we need to study and make sure that our churches are insured. There is a step over in our church in Kireka in church. We always worried when you bring people coming in, you see somebody falling. You said our people are not aware. If they are aware, somebody comes and is trying to take a step, he misses that small step within the back of the church. Automatically, if I fall and I get an injury, I'll take that church to what? To court, and the church will be liable because we have negligent. We have noticed sometimes, many of the times, don't even put notice. Please take care of the step. So we need to do planning. We need to take precautions to see that our people are safe. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Elder, for that addition. Brother Jimmy Muhindo, your hand is up before I read people's questions that are coming up here in the chat. Can we hear from Brother Muhindo, our Muhindo, the Muhindo family?
Okay, Elisha, thank you very much, and thank you, Elder Kibura, for the wonderful presentation. My question might be one of the first concerns I would like to put is the awareness of the insurance cover and the insurance company of our church amongst the church leaders and the church members. I think that's one area where we are particularly people are not aware of it. But the question is, clubs and club members are required to pay insurance annually, and some clubs have really complied. But I always see for every activity happening, their budgets include insurance cover. So for me, I'm wondering if a person has already paid for insurance and is a member of St. Tinda SDA Club Pathfinder and has paid insurance as a club member, do you still need to pay insurance again when you are going for a company or an activity of that very same club through there? Thank you.
Am I supposed to answer
Thank you so
instantly?
much, Brother Muhindo.
Yes.
Elder, let's give you more questions. Probably they could all be. Then you answer them at once. Here in the questions, The first question I saw is, are the insurance rates the same? I think you talked about like those of the choirs, the campers, or maybe that of the church member. Are they having the same rates? Then the other question is that one is coming from Omongi Patrick, Eastern Uganda. Then another question is coming from Hezron Kirabo. No, this one is coming from Wambi Gilbert. And it says, do we pay this insurance once for the club and everything is catered? That is coming from Wambi Gilbert. The other question from Omongi Patrick is, Elder, you alluded to Adventist Insurance Company or something related to that. Can you throw more light about it? I think he wants to know more about the insurance company that the church has. And I think this is also saying, do we pay it annually or the premiums? Then the last question, employees in church, schools have deductions named sustentation. How do they benefit from this insurance after death? Is it after death or survivors or during sickness? Those are a few questions that so far people have asked. Probably the other one was the question about the rates. How much are we paying for every cover? Assuming it is a choir, how much do they pay for that travel? And maybe my question is, if I am in the Northern Uganda field and we have a club that's organizing and we've collected our insurance, is it only received by Uganda Union, or once it reaches that Northern Uganda field offices, our insurance is now ready or set? Where is the destination of that money? Thank you, Elder. Let me take these two people raising up their hands, and then you can respond to that. We have Lucy from CUC, Lucy Fina, and Master Guide Amanyile Joshua. Their hands are up. Can I hear from Lucy first? Then we go to Amanyile Joshua. Yes, Lucy, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yes, thank you so much, Brother Elisha. Hello? Are you getting me?
We're getting you clearly, Lucy. It's very well.
Yes, I was saying, my question is, most times when you're collecting registration fees from parents, because that is inclusive insurance and some other money, like I'm asking, especially maybe for the little ones. Yeah, parents would ask, is this money refundable when maybe it's not used? Let's say especially the insurance, because most times maybe you would try to explain to them that maybe in case of accidents and arrest. So parents would ask whether that money is refundable in case it has not been used, and especially for the little ones, maybe who don't even go outside for camping and arrest. So that's my question, especially. So it's like a concern or a question. Thank you.
I think Elder, from Midwestern Uganda Mission.
Okay, yes, brother. My question, just a moment, let me read this. Okay, my question here is, we always have camp meetings at church. Is that insurance also support? Can church members pay for insurance to cater for them during that time when they are at church for camp meetings, or it is only for youth?
Okay.
I don't know whether my question is clear.
Thank you. Elder will take a look at that. Maybe Elder, as you come to respond to the question. Are we going to be paying this insurance every time we have an event? We pay once in a year and that is all. If you told this year and maybe then the club is going to travel somewhere, we pay another insurance. The other one. Thank you so much, Elder. Maybe you can take a response to that as we're waiting for other questions to come in.
Thanks a lot for the questions. That one implies that members have been following me, though I had the internet network problem. I'm sorry for that. CAM meeting. Let me begin from the last one, the CAM meeting. Can we ensure CAM meeting? The problem is we have no awareness in our churches. But any risk activity you are doing, it is better you take up what? An insurance. But again, when you tell our people, but you see, you need to insure this, you need to cover up this. Say, no, these things are expensive. You people in leadership there, you want to cheat us, this and that. We shall pray. And everything will go on smoothly. But if you identify risk, we said when you identify risk, you need to mitigate, cover for it. So that should anything happen, you know, you have somebody who will come and shoulder the issue. Ruth said, was asking, is this money refundable? I have a car. Let me also be specific to this one. As a church worker, and I have a car, because now Eliezer is a property of the church, a church worker. The church protects me from all unnecessary activities. So I'm not entitled, I'm not entitled to drive a car, even if it is mine, which is not insured comprehensively. When they are all ends, I don't use it this year. I never somebody to Northern Uganda field office despite the union that so and so has paid in so much, and we say, okay, if they have paid you so much, send us the names of the company members, and we also what push transfer the names to the divisions. But if we know so and so, that becomes our what? Then there was a question about sustentation. Somebody contributes sustentation. And then how do they benefit with insurance? These are two areas. Sustentation. Hello? Sustentation works on somebody retiring. Hello? Sustentation, I was saying, works for people who are retiring. Eliezer is so, if I died now, there are two issues. One, my family will benefit from what we call survivors what? Benefit, because I've put in the names of my wife, I've put the names of my children, and the percentage each one is entitled. Should I die now? So when the insurance cover comes, they will be paying them so much. According to my will, that's my will I put in. She was the wife to 90 years, from 55 to 90 years, she'll be getting. Am I clear? Am I clear? Can I get a response from you whether I'm clear?
And the network has not been so good.
My network.
We are
Has been
trying to at least the network is not stable.
My what? Network is okay? Can I get a response?
clear.
I was saying about I was talking about substantiation. Somebody asked about substantiation, about the schools and the workers that they contribute. No worker contributes for substantiation. I want to be clear on this. It is the church, the conference, the union that contributes, and the union and the church, which are tithe-based, they contribute from tithe. For the schools, it is the school, not an employee. It is not a deductible item. It is the employer who pays for me as an employee. And I said, when I die, it doesn't correspond, the two don't correspond. What will be paid immediately, my family will be what? Survivor's benefit. And at the age when my wife becomes 55, she will receive now what we call retirement. Substantiation now becomes in. If I die before I retire. More right, do we pay once for every club? There are clubs which contribute to the money. Send it to the what? They contribute as a club and the money ends in the club. The members know that the money has gone, yet it has not gone. So please take those precautions as leaders. If you receive the money, take it where it belongs so that the insurance cover comes in. Now, if your club is already insured, on the onset, you insured your club. We shall not require that again pay another money when you are traveling. You are already insured. We always require when, because we know many of you are not what? Insured. But if you know you are insured and your money was received when the year was beginning, when you are moving within, that insurance is already there and it will work so long as you have the names of club what? Members. You don't need again to say, we are traveling to leader. Yes, no. It is already, you are already what? Insured. Insurance rates cannot be the same. I'm traveling to USA and I'm traveling to leader. I will say to leader and with campus what? Insurance. International, it is international campus. And international involves a lot. Should I die from America? Should I get sick from America? That is a different whatever. But the charges are fewer. They should not be what? They should not scare us. You can see somebody traveling to USA and the charge comes of only what? 50,000. Depending on the days also you are going to finish there. It is also, sometimes it is only 20,000. You see, sometimes you get scared for nothing. It is better you take up this insurance and then, other than what? Losing. Have I covered everything? Then we talked about that the church, as a church, generally, General Conference recommends that all churches and anybody falling there, we take up our insurance covers under Adventist risk management. Under Adventist risk management. However, for moving vehicles, our vehicles, we insure them locally here. We insure them locally here. Mr. Moderator, I think if I'm not sure, I'll finish the questions. If I've left out a question, remind me, please, moderator. But I see as if I've covered many of them. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Elder, for answering the questions. Maybe my request will be clarity on the campus insurance. On the campus insurance, if all clubs have paid, for example, this next year for insurance, again, there happens to be an international event that is maybe we are taking them to outside, maybe to US to attend the international camporee, and yet they have already paid insurance internally here. I think you'll help clarify that. Do they pay another insurance for international because The other one caters for within Uganda. Probably there I'll be sorted also as the youth leader because it will help.
Yes, as a youth leader or as a club, you are paid for campus, and we say the campus is within our division. Campus now, being a group of youth who are going to see. I need to assure you that as we move outside, especially now to US, definitely we shall have to pay in what we call international, because now you are moving out of what the other is get you within the locality. Now this one is international, is specific for a particular activity. You are going to once, definitely, as you said, what? Insurance.
Okay, thank you so much. Elisha, are you on? Elisha MC, are you there? Elisha, are you there?
Elisha seems to be off.
Oh.
Hello.
Yes.
Let me try to call him and see.
Okay, fine. So we want to appreciate Elder for answering our questions, and I can just see some questions here in the chat from Elder.
Yes.
These are the last ones that we can let go.
There is a question here. There is a question there. What evidence should we require to confirm that annual insurance has been paid to NRM, to ARM? The question, the assurance is you go to the field to go to the conference, you pay the money, and the money is what? Received. Should any occurrence happen, you submit in your what? Your claim. If the conference did not take up the responsibility of forwarding your insurance cover to the union, and the union also didn't take up, it is now either the union that will take up the responsibility of paying it. And if we know it at the union, sure we'll make our field, our conference, do what? Do all the compensations as required by policy, if they didn't forward in. So all what youth leaders take note of this, that should you hold the people's money at your desk and you don't forward it to conference, then you personally, or as a church, or at an individual church, you are responsible to take care of those liabilities. If it is the field at whatever level, the level which didn't act, we will do what? We will definitely. Because for us, you bring and you say, can you bring evidence that the field received? And we shall do all the necessary whatever to follow it up. So don't take route that I need to write to ARM to ask them, but we paid our money here in Amucha. You people, have you received our money? That is not your responsibility. You take it to the field, a conference, you end there, keep your receipts, keep your records, whatever remains, come back and say, please, you have this accident. We have this. If nobody did that, they are responsible. Why can't why can't at least each field conference employee, technical person in charge of church insurance handle all these matters? We expect our field treasurers, conference treasurers, and the leaders, those leaders to have, but the spearheading person is the treasurer. Have that information, and as they promote, they're supposed to teach. But you know, sometimes you are overwhelmed with a lot of activities. I have to promote what? tithes and offerings and whatever. And sometimes we don't. And sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget. We need more sensitization on insurance and whatever. Those ones can be organized at our local levels. I see a hand from Amanyere. Amanyere, can you unmute yourself and ask? Master Guide Amanyere, Joshua, so Samson.
Okay, thank you so much. Elder, my question is here. There is something you've not understood well. First, we have agreed, we have taught us that as a club, it has to pay for its insurance.
Yes.
Now, the club has paid for insurance. Here, time comes when we are supposed to have our, let's say we have a company, whether it is for the entity or it is for the union. And normally when we are paying registration, we always pay that registration with an inclusion of the insurance fee. Are we supposed also to pay insurance if a club is insured already?
I think I've been clear on that issue. When your money is clear, it says the registration fee is so much, and it includes either 7,000 or 10,000 as insurance. Should you have an activity, the only thing you have to tell us is just to inform us that this group is traveling to a certain destination. That is all. You submit us your names to us, and we know that you are traveling, but you have been already covered. So what we have to know is that let's liaise with our conference leaders, youth leaders, whether our insurance premiums have been received at the conference or field level. You don't need to pay when you already paid. You are paying on top of payment, and then that is double payment. So if it is already paid and registered, you don't need again to pay. You only need to inform us about your movement. And we said 2 weeks before you set off. Just notify us.
Thank you so much, Elder. I think there's another question in the chat. Our MC lost data. So as we wait for him, we can look at the other questions that are in the chat. I didn't hear the question that Mama asked, but there are some questions here. Number 1 says, what is the protocol for claiming this insurance? The other question is, what evidence should we require to confirm that annual insurance has reached the ARM? And then the other question is, why can't at least each field or conference employee, technical personnel in charge of church insurance to handle, like it's supposed to be to put someone in charge of to handle all these matters? I think we can handle those 3 questions, and then we see if there are more questions coming in.
Miriam, I think I've answered those questions, but I can still go over them. Yes.
All right. Maybe let me read some more questions that came down. Oh, I think this one is a comment saying campus insurance is a must. For me, I have also a question on insurance. When we have insured here, you said international insurance, you have to insure again. But if you have insured locally in the conference, the insurance we do at the beginning of the year, if we want to go camping in another conference, do we have to again get insurance, or the same insurance that we have paid at the beginning of the year can cover that one?
That one covers, madam.
Hello?
You already covered for the year.
Okay.
I've said, Miriam, that you are already covered. My internet is also not, it is unstable, but you are not, you don't need again to make another payment. Is it okay, Miriam?
Okay, I have heard, Elder. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Friends, are there any other questions for Elder before we hand over to Mama?
I just have one question before we close. Elder, you talked about when somebody falls down when he's in the church and breaks his arm. I didn't get well. Do you mean that church building is supposed to be paid for insurance so that when a church member breaks his arm? I didn't get there well, but I was interested in that comment.
What I said, Madam Wise, what I was saying is, in our churches, there are dangerous spots in our churches. We need to put warnings on the steps, and we said this one, the steps you put walkward stairs on both sides. What precautions are we putting in place? There is a dangerous step in the church. You tell people, please take precaution. There is what? A step. Huh? Somebody sits on a bench and breaks. And it is that will be called negligence. How do you bring in a broken bench in the church? So for those developed countries, it is a serious issue. We are saying here through comfortably because our people are ignorant. Let me this point blank, say it point blank. Our people are ignorant. But in developed countries, those cases are there. We need to take insurance of risk of our churches, risky points in our churches. That is why I said we need committees, established committees, either the church level to mitigate those problems.
Elder, for that response. My question, if I followed very well the presentation, you seem to suggest that every church member should be insured.
No.
Yes.
No. I'm saying you can have a blind cover for any unidentified problem. Because if we went in to ensure each and every member, maybe it would be very difficult. But we can, like schools, understand me, like schools. There are schools which have over 1,000 students. What we tell them, you cover a group and give a blind cover like 500 if it is a school with 2,000 or whatever. You only cover what? Now there are some areas where you will go for group insurance. And a group insurance like schools, that is a very recommended in schools. You give a group insurance that when I say 100 people covered, you can go like a church, I am covering 100 people, and I know in the year 100 people will not be injured. So that one, we say a blind cover of a group insurance. So when you cover under group, it means that our people are safe. If anybody had an accident in my church, there is a group insurance. We shall only say we had a group cover and these people are what. But for pathfinders, please, we need individual coverages. Because the children are very sensitive.
Thank you, Elder. Maybe lastly, I went off a bit, I was disturbed, but I don't know whether you took a response to this question. There's, I think Fiona hopefully is the one who asked this. How do we claim for the insurance in case of any danger?
In locally, what we are saying, you have an accident.
What is the process that we go through to claim the insurance in case you go?
That is what I'm saying. First step, you have an accident. Report to police. Have a police what? Report. 2, take a photograph of the case, of the scene, of the injured person before they are taken. These days, the good thing we have our cameras on our phones. Take that picture immediately. Then run, if you are in Central, run to Pastor Sentongo and say our group had a problem, our person had a problem. They shall give you a form and begin up from there. So for us, what you have to do, you have a police report, you have a photograph, we shall now need to know, is this person insured? Yes, if this person is insured, we shall fill the form, they sign, they bring to the union, we sign and forward it to insurance. And within a shortest period, your claim will be handled. So your responsibility, please go to police, get a police report, have a photograph, and ensure that you have a list, your list of members, that this member was also insured on my list, and we shall confirm it at the what? At the conference. And the conference, since the names, said the names come to the union, they go up to the division, we shall need to know, did we submit these names? That's why I said now, if in case it happens that the conference received and they did not, so the union to be now, the union is tasked to make the conference or the food pay. What? Recompensate.
Okay. Thank you, Elder. We have like 7 minutes, but Mwendo Jimmy has always been posting something which is in line with what I want to. And I'm asking, do we have the people responsible of those insurance issues, like at the local church level, say maybe at the different field offices, or it is taken up by the treasurers that are responsible for mobilizing people to contribute this insurance company or the youth? Most of the time, you'll find that youth have gone for events when they're insured because not been maybe aware, or it has not been spoken about by the church leaders. My question is, do we have like which people are responsible for mobilizing this on the field level or at the district level, so that approach them and maybe have a mobilization that the different clubs or youth clubs are aware of it?
Who is responsible? Madam Waisha is already responsible. She has taken up our part to make you aware. So it is you who is responsible, the leader. For her, she has done her part. So it is now the owner's the youth leader. And if we are ready to what point to another. So when everything is done, we just look at our records and everything is done. What goes on?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Elder. It has been a good time to have you present insurance and safety on planning. I hope, dear youth leaders, we shall implement and mobilize our youth to always subscribe this insurance. Though I didn't count the amount, the last time I paid insurance, it was $2. I don't know the current one. Elder, maybe you can take a response to that. We were told to pay 7,000 Uganda shillings, or $2.
The cash,
the amount.
Shillings. Cutting, you are cutting.
How much?
The amount. I stated in my presentation, it is between $1 to $3. It is not much, especially for campus insurance. International will depend on the days you are going to spend outside international.
Yes. Thank you, Elder. It's been good having you talk to the youth leaders, and thank you for the responses, the matters that have been running in our minds about the insurance. Thank you, youth leaders, for attending. And I pray the Lord will bless you all. I'd like to hand you over to Mami Waiswa in the next 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes to 5. And Madam Waiswa, this is your turn.
Mami Waiswa, it is a pleasure. It has been a pleasure having you all. And for giving me the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Amen.
Among all the people selecting me, thanks a lot.
Amen. Amen, Elder. We are so much excited, Elder, for presenting safety planning and insurance. Personally, I have also been blessed a lot to learn more of the insurances and how I can work together again with the youth leaders here to notify the church. It has been a pleasure. Elder, we have been missing somehow in these areas, but I believe that the people who have attended today have been blessed too, and most of the comments in the chat are appreciating the presentation. Elder, as you can see, we have a number of people who have attended this meeting, and I would love to, I request all the participants, some have gone off because of the data, to put on their video. We have Jeru Youth. Jeru Youth are so many. If you can see them. Jeru Youth, are you there? How many have you attended today?
Hey, you're covering the screen, Jerry Youth.
Hey, Jeru Youth, how many are you today? We are taking a roll call. Okay. Jeru Youth, how many are you today? Okay. Okay, we are, yeah. Yes, we want to appreciate our participants. There are always many here. I can see our leader from Midwestern Uganda field, he has attended with so many people. We always have a big group here, Mitiana. Did Mitiana people attend today? I didn't see you. Hope you've taken attendance to Ruth, because we are going to issue you a simple exam, not an assignment, because we are going to give a special certificate in this particular paper. When you look at our requirement, it says attend a union-wide presentation on SYL, and we are happy that it is our very own leader, the senior in it, who has presented it. So when you attempt the assignment, we'll send the assignment on WhatsApp, because everybody should attend it, and then you get your responses, and then you respond to the certificate, you'll be able to get the certificate. We are glad to have many who have attended. Want to praise God for that. Now, dear participants, as we conclude, we are the ones to take this message. I can see people wondering, the churches don't know about this information. Yes. Now, since we are senior youth leaders in training, it is our responsibility to notify our churches about the insurance. It is our responsibility to notify our youth groups, pathfinders, adventurer, ambassadors. Now we are leading ambassadors and young adults. Those are the people who love a lot of fun. They love moving a lot. They love going for social events. So it is high time we pay yearly insurance. We hope that next year, 2021, we are going to have many of our clubs insured, right from adventurer, pathfinder, ambassador, young adults, all the master guides, including the choirs. So it is very, very important. Elder talked of insurance short term. When you're moving from one area, you're going to minister to Northern Uganda field, but you're from Southwestern Uganda field. It is important to have a short-term travel to cover you for that period. And so I believe by this presentation, we are able to explain to our members and also help them understand more about safety planning and insurance, even with the entire church. We want to appreciate your participation. Elder has already submitted the presentation. I'm just going to send it right away after this presentation on Zoom. We want to welcome you again to tomorrow's Zoom class. Tomorrow we shall be finishing Module 7 and also handle Young Adult Ministry. Young Adult Ministry. We will be handling that tomorrow. Again, next weekend, we shall be blessed to have again another presentation from one of our leaders so that we are equipped and ready to cover up our SYL card requirements. So if you can see our card requirements, we are really moving on so well, I should say, because today we've covered another important area. And then Your youth director will be able to sign for you that part on the card that talks about safety planning and insurance. So remember to send in your attendance to Ruth, because Ruth is marking the attendance for today's class. We want to appreciate you all, and may God bless you. Again, we will meet tomorrow, same time. I don't know if our MC has the last person praying for us so that we can go. MC, do you have the one praying so we can go? Okay. And before we go, we'll all put on our videos for the photo. Dennis Kruger, are you there for the group photo? Please put on your video and we take today's pictorial attendance. Yes. Today we are taking our pictorial attendance. Let me hope Kruger is doing the best, as I am also taking the best here. Hey, I want to thank Busega class. Busega, you're so many. Today, Andrew, where did you get those people of Busega?
Which was very happy and joyous there.
Which group is that?
The Busega team. I saw them.
The Busega team, we appreciate. Henry Kajumbi, we want to thank your team there. I think you're so many today. Let me hope you're also taking the group photo. And then, Luke, which other group is here?
Western Uganda Mission.
Yes, Uganda Mission. Master Guide Amankide. Thank you. We had a very big group in attendance. God bless you. We meet again tomorrow, same time, as we cover another important area. Remember, we are doing still our theory up to end of this November. And then December, we shall tell you the assignments you're supposed to do. We'll give you 1 month of December to do all your assignments, and that is when your youth directors will come down to sign your cards, so that the month of December, you finish all your assignments, then January will come back to finalize so that we are able to graduate. Yeah. So, Ella, shall we pray for us and we go?
Closing prayer. I'll call on Brother Hezron. I saw Brother Hezron Chirabo around, though I don't know which field he comes from. Brother Hezron, you can unmute yourself.